Hey everybody, Will Fix here. Got another video for you today. If you doubt that XRP can go to $10,000 per coin, then this is the video you need to watch. If you see the material, you can at least judge the material for yourself, and you can look at actual numbers and decide for yourself based on the numbers that are provided. You know, the math in this case doesn't lie. So if you doubt that it can go to 10,000, or if you own a small bag and you're doing the best you can to have just 500, 1,000 XRP, and you're hoping that that's going to be something for you one day, it might take a while before it becomes a $10,000 coin. But this one's for you. You need some of this hope. So we're going to roll up a big old fat blunt of some hopium, and we're going to smoke it together. So if you don't like that analogy, I apologize. But this is for you if you doubt that the price can go to 10,000. And yes, it's about XRP going to 10,000, 25,000 even. I catch some flack about this, but I give some content that I'm not sure any other channel gives the particular numbers and looks at and rationalizes the numbers like I've broken down in the past. And I'm gonna do that again because it hasn't reached everybody. And there's some new things to consider. So this is an update on how XRP can go to 10,000. And I don't see a problem with this once we look at the numbers. So we're going to look at a few things. We're going to talk about the escrow account, and we're going to get in just a little bit deep to the mechanics of how the transactions will lead to a $10,000 XRP. And we'll talk about the institutions and the banks that are involved, the amount of money, and we're going to break down a lot of things. It's really awesome. It's a great confidence builder. I love it. And by the way, if you like this kind of content that I do, please do like and subscribe. And the more you guys hit that thumbs up, I think it's down on the left a little bit that you can hit the thumbs up. It's unbelievable how that helps the algorithm. So when I spend the time to break these shows down and I see you guys hitting that, I'm like, man, they're really awesome. So thank you in advance for hitting that. And by the way, the bell notification, so you don't miss out on videos. You'll at least get to pass by and see that a new video came out, and then you can reject it or accept it based on the title, but it will bring a notification to you. So hit that notification bell. Speaking of bill, you might need a decent wallet. Check this ad out. Hopefully you're not leaving your cryptocurrency on the exchanges. Exchanges can fail and get hacked. If you don't own the keys to your coin, then you're not in custody of your coin. Someone else is. Be sure to get yourself a cold storage wallet. I suggest a decent wallet. You can order two for $219. That's $99 off. Or you can order one if you wish. When you order, your shipping is free if you live in the US, the UK, the EU, or Japan. Order one today. I think you'll be satisfied. To order now and get the discount, you can use the link that's appearing above my head. There's also a link in the description, and generally there's one at the end of all my videos. Go ahead and order now. You'll be satisfied. Now, if you saw my last video on XRP to 10,000, I'll put the link to that right above my head here. If you saw that one, you can see, so what's this update about? Well, the update is, even though we observed the figure or used the figure of Ripple's XRP escrow balance is reported to be approximately 38.9 billion is the latest as of September the 24th. That was how much was in escrow. Now, on that figure, there was a couple things that we didn't address. We didn't address the idea that whenever there's a 1 billion coin monthly distribution of 1 billion coins, they usually send back 800 million, right? And they'll use 200 million, I guess, cash out, pay bills, build up actual cash. But they send 800 million coins back into escrow. When they do that, there is a 40-month lockout period. And you can see here when the lockup periods for XRP tokens that Ripple returns to escrow can vary, but based on available information, 40 months, this appears to be the more commonly cited figure. When Ripple returns XRP back into escrow, those tokens are typically locked up for another 40 months. This practice was mentioned in discussions around Ripple's strategy for managing XRP supply and was highlighted in various analysis and reports. So this is the accurate figure. I have heard somebody quote the figure of 38 months, and they're just wrong. There's nothing found on that. I couldn't find anything on that. I've asked for Grok to search for that and couldn't see that. So I can't validate that. So wherever that source was, it doesn't seem that I can find it again. So it's not 38 months, it's 40 months. Does that make a big difference? Sort of. Is 1.6 billion XRP important? If you lost them, it would become real important, wouldn't it? The other part of this update is the fact that we left out the ETFs, which are going to consume a whole lot of coins. If they're going to have a job to do on an ETF, and as you know, an ETF requires the underlying asset to be held. They actually have to buy XRP to represent the value that the ETF is. So when people come in and are buying that ETF, it's not a representation of the value of XRP. It's actually backed by real XRP. So we didn't talk about that there are 11 spot ETFs that have been applied for. And, so I asked Grok to do some searches, and, they found them. We know the big ones, the big names that came out for the S1 filings of the spot ETF. But there are 11 ETFs that have been filed for. So we're going to have to add that in. So there's 3 major components that in this update to show the numbers of, and what are we getting to? What we're getting to, the whole point of this is to expose how many XRP coins are available to be bought and sold in order for banks and institutions to have a market to go to get them. So we're also going to talk about pre-allocation. That's a real thing. XRP has done that in the past. So we're going to talk about pre-allocated coins where they've possibly already made agreements with banks. But that still, that unheard of number still has to come from certain numbers. It can't come from locked up numbers. It can't come up from mine in your wallet unless we decided to sell. So we're going to get down to how many XRP are there available for the entire market to be made. The market is made by the purchase and sale of the tokens, correct? Well, let's just picture a table where, you're coming to do an exchange. That's what the order books are. The order books on the exchanges are, just think of them as it's set on the table. Hey, I have these, I'm selling them for this. And hey, I want to buy this much and I want to buy them for this, right? That's where the market is made. So the market is made wherever you can go to the market and find how much are those, I want to get some. So then you have that on different exchanges. And just as a little tidbit of a thought, you take all of the coins that are available on all the exchanges. All of the exchanges also have their own algorithm that adjusts the price of XRP based on their supply. Now, I don't know how extensive it is, but I believe that's an explanation for some of the glitches. But I do know there is an arbitrage difference between exchanges because the automated market maker takes advantage of those shifting. If it's worth 5 or 6 cents more over there than it is over here, well, it's a no-brainer to say, well, I'll buy here and sell there, right? You can just buy here, sell there, buy here, sell there, right? But the more you sell there, guess what it does? Drives the price down. So it's a great equalizer for all of the markets, the way the AMM works in that, as far as that capacity. So here we have that's what we're aiming at. So we're going to go a little deeper. So let's review the numbers. I've seen many people estimate when they're talking about the price of XRP, they go with the 100 billion tokens, not realizing that those 100 billion tokens are not available. They also cite market cap, which I'll put a link up here. You know, this is a good market cap video, and to see where market cap has nothing to do with anything. So you just watch that video. If you're concerned about market cap and you believe that much money has to actually exist in order to come into the project to create the price of the coins, then you have a false belief there. And watch that video, and it's fully explained there in good, easy, simple terms. And I've had many people be like, "Oh wow, that was really cool." So do yourself a favor and go ahead and watch it. Nevertheless, there is not 100 billion coins available. Proof? How many people have said, I'm not selling my XRP. Well, it just takes one guy holding one token that 100 billion aren't available. But anyway, so we're going to start with these figures. We're going to run through them, add the update in, and then we'll see how many XRP are actually sitting on the table, so to speak, to be exchanged, because it's those tokens on that table that will cause all the other tokens, all the other XRP sitting in the shelves, all in your wallets, everywhere that they are, it will cause all of those to go up. They get to go up in price when the exchange on that table goes up, and somebody says, no, I'll pay, it sneaks up to $5. Now we're trading at $5 in XRP. Well, all of those rise in price too. All of them do. So that's why it's important for us to look at what's going on at that table, at the exchanges, the order books, and who's coming to those to purchase. That makes a big difference. All right, so here's the 100 billion coins. Escrow right now is 38,900,000. And I get that figure from open sources that disclose the figure. Let me see here. Right here you can see how many ripples XRP escrow balance has been reported to be approximately 38.9 billion as of the latest data from September the 30th, 2024. So there you have it. So there's 38.9 in escrow. Okay, circulating supply is 61 billion coins, 61 billion 100 million coins, okay, that are not in escrow, right? So that's what would be left. So out of those 61, if you burn, there's been 11 million burned XRP from the XRP system that, there's a burn mechanism built in to when fees are paid. So there's 11 million that are gone, right? Now we've reduced the supply to 61 billion and 89 million. All right, wallet creation reserve. So, it costs X amount of XRP to create a wallet. Well, there's 825,000 XRP. This is a very low estimate to create wallets. So now we're down to 61 billion 88, not making a big difference so far, but it's coming. Top 10 wallets. So the top 10 wallets hold 11 billion 100 million coins, and those wallets have not shrunk at all, but have actually added to build up to that number. Those wallets have grown. So the circulating supply of those, so it takes it out of the circulating supply. Could that change? Yeah, that could change, but pretty much they're probably going to hold on to them, right? So you pull those 11 billion out, we're down to 49.9 billion XRP available for purchase or out in the market somewhere at this point. So here we go. Let's keep going. So we got the AMM. We got people that have liquidity pools. The money's tied up. It's doing arbitrage trading. It's being leased and to do XRP movement of money. And how many of those are busy? Well, approximately 9,274,000. So we've reduced our supply to 49,978. Now, held over 1 year. How much XRP has been held for more than a year? So, because those aren't moving. This is you and me holding on, people that bought, down at 4 and 5 cents and 17 cents. And, I bought in at 37 cents. And all of us who are still holding, how much does that add up to? Because ours are not available for sale yet. They may be, but they're not. They've been off the market for over a year. Well, that's 34 billion coins. So after subtracting that, you're down to 15,978,900,907 XRP available on the marketplace or in the marketplace. Okay, now but this figure hasn't been whittled down with our new figures. All right, held by exchanges. Okay, so this is how much is sitting on COINBASE and Crypto.com and the different dexes, Uphold, all of the different exchanges where you can purchase. If you add all up what they own in their wallets, that is 5,687,000,000 is held by exchanges. Now, one could argue that is the actual figure of availability, because that's what's available, right? That's what's owned by the exchanges. Okay, the only other place that there are any available is in Ripple's escrow account, but we're going to talk about the escrow account here in just a minute. So let's just keep up with, we got 5.6, I guess we could say 5.7 billion XRP on exchanges, on public marketplace, sitting on the table for people to exchange, for the order books to say, okay, who's selling, who's buying, what do you want to do? There is 5.7 billion coins doing that just now, right now. All right, so adjusted circulating supply. All right, okay, let's talk about this. There's some other figures. So we need to add some figures back for safe measure, okay? Because all of those wallets that aren't moving any money, they could release funds. Well, let's jump to half of them decide to. A whole half of them say, man, I'm selling. This is it. We're selling. Okay, so now if we take the supply that we have just figured and we add half of that supply back, we're back to 27 billion coins that could be on the exchanges, because 50% of those that have held for over a year show up and say, nope, mine are for sale now. Okay, they set it on the table. All right, so we're not going to talk about current price. So the escrow details, let's go a little bit deeper, because so far we have figured, these figures that we just came up with were based on the whole 38.9 billion being available. However, they're not. There are 800 million XRP returned to the escrow each month, and it gets locked up for 40 months. Now, I found that through, just research you can read on the site. And a quick way to find it was on Grok. So I have those results here. Let's see. Ripple initially pre-mined 100 billion. Then they had 80 billion. They managed to supply in 2017, placed 55 billion in an escrow account. And then you see here, Ripple releases 1 billion tokens that aren't sold, and they can exercise control over those. But what they have been doing is sending 800 million back into escrow. And as we had shown just a little earlier, that totals to 34 billion. So there's actually 6.9 billion. These are all rough figures, but there you go. You're back to the 6.9 billion. So if we go back to where we were, so here we are with a long story short. You have approximately 7 billion XRP available in the escrow. Today, a month goes by, you can add 1 billion to that if they decide to use those. But we're just trying to get a rough figure of how many is available right now. Well, you have these 6.9 billion plus these 5.7 billion. 5.7 plus 6.8 equals what? 11? No, that would be 12.6. 12.6 billion coins. Okay, now that we've established that, sitting on the table right now, as best as we can figure, is 12.6 billion coins. But wait, we have 11 ETFs. Now that's the coins available in escrow plus the coins available on the exchanges. So what's in the escrow would have to be moved to the exchanges or pre-allocated funds, which I mentioned in my very first video that I ever did on XRP. It went viral and it got a lot of attention. And I was just talking about, supposing Brad Garlinghouse is going around doing the sales, he's obviously going to have to estimate how much money each company moves per year to estimate how many XRP that would require. And he can only do that based on the current cost. So he probably keeps those money numbers, and as the coins have been dispersed and used and people have taken them, it's requiring less and less XRP to meet that demand because the price of XRP has gone up, so each XRP is larger. So how large? So you're going to have to divide the remaining balance of XRP tokens by the amount of money needed for the pre-allocation. And that's what I brought up. He's probably, this was well over a year ago. In fact, I'll put that video up right here. That's XRP flip of the switch 25,000. And I mentioned it in there if you want to see it. But that pre-allocated, and we have discovered they actually did use pre-allocated numbers to fulfill what each bank and institution that's already started needed. They had pre-allocated those. So how many of these 12.6 billion are already pre-allocated to somebody? Good question. That's it's a mystery number that we don't have. So here we are with 5.7 billion sitting on the table and the rest sitting in an escrow account with the availability of 8 for the next 40 months whenever the next switch is thrown. Let's say regulations are passed and the lawsuit's over. Suddenly, we're going to need coins. I don't think they can change the rules of escrow, but so supposing it's true that they can't, then the escrow can release every month can release at least additional 800,000. So the initial million they can do, so they can do 1,800,000 release per month, and to whoever it is that's going to need them. So the pile gets smaller and smaller. Now, when we look at this remaining balance, we still have to subtract from 12.6 billion the idea that there could be 11 ETFs come online. So what could we do with what is the estimation of what an ETF would do? So I thought the best place to go would be Grok and put Grok on it. And so I asked Grok what happened in the past and to become a learner from the past on crypto ETFs and then give us an estimation. Long story short, here's the conclusion that Grok gave me based on the history of crypto ETFs being created, money going in. It came up with an estimate that a reasonable estimate for the total inflows into 11 newly created XRP spot ETFs could range from $3 billion to $15 billion each. The lower bound, $3 billion, reflects cautious investor behavior or less enthusiastic market conditions. The upper bound of $15 billion accounts for optimistic scenarios where XRP gains significant traction due to its utility in financial services, existing community, and broader institutional adoption. So it's taken some good things into consideration. It is an AI answer, so it is subject to be at fault, but I feel like this is pretty good. And if you decide to go with the middle here, you would add 15 and 3, 18 billion, split it in half, and what is that, 9 billion? Yep, and that'd be $9 billion per each 11. Am I supposing all 11? Might as well. I mean, I'll suppose all 11 will be approved. I don't know what would make a company not be able to be approved, under the guidelines, unless it is they judge that, each one would be too small. And then, at that rate, then maybe the same amount of money would be, but just more money per. So we'll just cut all of those figures down to think about 9 billion per, which would be $100 billion, so $99 billion, correct? I'm sorry, 100 billion tokens. No, they did estimate, they were estimating at what price here? They did estimate dollars. So, all right, so we'll just estimate those dollars and divide it ourselves. So here we are with $99 billion. So if we go with $3 per, it's 33, leaves what, 33 billion tokens that we have to remove from 12.6 billion tokens. It's not going to work, is it? So what's going to have to happen? What is the solution? We have more purchasers coming in here at, okay, so let me tell you what that'll do. Let's suppose these numbers, let's just go with they're exact, because we got to start somewhere. So if we go with that, we have people wanting to buy 33 billion coins, but there's only 12, let's just keep it simple and say there's 12 billion coins. Now this is a very flawed math because they don't need coins, they need to be able to move a dollar amount. But let's supposing they just need coins. Well, then XRP would have to be $8.25. And that is just rough around the edges figure. Okay, so you say, well, that's not a lot. Yeah, but we just pretended to sell, 100 billion coins. Is it going to stay at $3 as 100 billion coins are purchased? No. Also, does that satisfy the need of moving the money? Well, no, not necessarily, because if all you have available is all of the money is trying to grab a hold of 12.6 billion coins, then at $3, that can only move, less than $50 billion. That's nothing for the banks and institutions. We have some banks that have moved trillions of dollars in a day. In a day. So now you've got people crowding around this table. Just imagine these whales coming up. And they're like, that's all you got? So as that price drives up, it's going to have to drive up more and more and more. And it will, because when you go ahead and transact 100 billion coins, you're going to send it way above $8, way above $8. Because you understand what we did there was we pretended that it was $3 is all that was needed, per coin. There's no way everybody's going to be selling at $3. You just see a little bit of movement, man, and it's been driving the price up, up to, from 50 cents up to several dollars. So long story short, when you need to move trillions of dollars, the XRP at the current prices is not enough to do it. It will not happen. What will happen is the price of XRP will moon to the size that is needed for these whales to move their money, because they don't care about price. They're not trying to keep it low. They don't care. I'm moving $10 billion, and I don't care if it's 1 XRP or if it's 10 billion XRP. I don't care. I'm just wanting it to go to point B, and then point B grabs it and sells it. That's another strong point to look at, is when you have all of these whales buying and selling tremendous amounts of XRP all at once. That is the most liquidity you could imagine. So when me and you walk up with our, 50,000 or 100,000 XRP and throw it in the mix, it's like, it's gone, man. Right? It's easy to be bought and sold with whales exchanging tremendous amounts of money. Well, I hope you like this content. I know I missed something and didn't get something right, and I know some of you have some great ideas. So this is a work in progress. That's why there's updates. If you see something I missed or I didn't pay the right attention to, or maybe I calculated wrong, let me know about it in the comments. I would like to know, because the closer we can get to this, the funner it is. The more we can get our finger right next to the button, man, I'm ready to push it, aren't you? So let me know about that. I hope it made sense. I hope it encouraged you, because I believe the encouragement is from reality and is not just hopium, but it does give us hope, and we need all the hope we can get, because that's just, we're looking forward to XRP exploding from where it's at. Please do like and subscribe. I hope you're having a good time with these. I sure have a good time making them. I'll see you next video.